بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على إمام المتقين وقائد المجاهدين محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهدي إلى يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Dear brothers and sisters, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today, inshallah, on Khawater AlNoor, I'm going to share with you a beautiful hadith. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إن الله سبحانه وتعالى أخفى ثلاث في ثلاث. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hiding three things in three things. He's hiding three things in three things. أخفى رضاه في طاعته، وأخفى سخط في معصيته، وأخفى أولياءه في عباده، أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, listen to this, brother and sister. It's very interesting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hiding three things inside three other things. He's hiding His rida, His contentment, His satisfaction, in His obedience. We're going to explain in a minute. So He's hiding, number one, He's hiding His contentment and His satisfaction in His obedience. And He's hiding His wrath and anger in His disobedience. In His disobedient. And He is hiding His awliya, His righteous friend, in His slaves. Three things. Number one, He's hiding His rida, His contentment, in His obedience. And number two, He's hiding His wrath and anger in His disobedience. Number three, He's hiding His awliya, His righteous friend, in His slaves. This is the one that I'm going to talk about today, number three. But number one and two, we'll explain what does that mean, and then we'll talk about number three, inshallah. So number one, أخفى رضاه في طاعته. He's hiding His pleasure, his contentment, that He's satisfied, that He's happy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from something you did. And why it's hidden? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hiding it? Sometimes we do things that is very small and we underestimate that what we did. And it could be that little thing that will take us to Jannah. And you don't even notice that you did something good to take you to Jannah. Example. This lady, the prostitute from the children of Israel, who provided some water for a thirsty dog. Prophet ﷺ said, this lady is in Jannah. She's a prostitute and she did a very little, excuse me, very little thing. If you provide some water for a dog or a cat or a bird, you tend to underestimate that. Oh, those who cares? Allah cares. Allah cares about what you did. And it could be that little thing that will take you to Jannah. إماطة الأذى من على الطريق أضعف الإيمان. You remove the harm from the road because it's going to harm somebody. That might take you to Jannah. So never ever underestimate anything. And there are so many other examples, but inshallah maybe in a different khatara. The second thing, Allah is hiding His wrath and anger in His disobedience. Sometimes we do very little things and He's saying, we tend to overlook this. Allah is not going to punish me for this. And it could be that little thing that will take you to hell. Example for that, the lady that the Prophet ﷺ said, the lady would come on the day of judgment with a lot of prayer, with a lot of charity, with a lot of righteous deed. But she's in hell. Why? Because she locked up a cat. She didn't allow the cat to go out for food, and she didn't provide food for the cat, so the cat died. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ said about this lady is going to go to hell. So sometimes we do things that's very small. It could harm somebody else, not even somebody. It could harm an animal. And that little thing could take you to hellfire. And we overlook things. So never ever underestimate something that is good that will take you to Jannah, and never ever overlook something that could take you to hellfire. Be very careful from those things. And again, we can talk about more examples some other time. The third thing, this is what I'm going to talk about in Khawater today, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أخفى أولياءه في عباده. أولياءه, His righteous friend. Allah knows, Allah the one who created all human beings, and He knows who are the awli who is the friend of Allah, who is Ibrahim was called what? Khalil al-Rahman. He's a Nabi. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected Ibrahim to be his friend? It's Allah. It's things Allah. We don't question Allah what He's doing. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected Umar ibn al-Khattab when he was in Medina, when he was in Mecca, prosecuting Muslims and torturing Muslims. Muslims have no hope that Umar one day will be a Muslim. No hope, because he was so harsh and so tough against Muslims. But he's a wali. Allah knows that he's going to be one day in a wali. So Allah, his righteous friend Umar is a wali, and nobody knows. So every single human being is a potential wali. How? Because every single human being is a potential Muslim, and every Muslim is a potential wali. Is a potential friend. And so never ever look at someone and underestimate that, oh, that guy doesn't do this, doesn't do that. That might be a wali of Allah, and you don't even know that he's wali. So treat people in general nicely. In general, Muslims and non-Muslims. Let me tell you, I will share with you a little story that supports this concept that happened during the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Towards the end of the Khilafah of Umar ibn al-Khattab, we know that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq stayed 2 years. Umar ibn al-Khattab remains Prince of the Believer, the Amir al-Mu'mineen, for 12 years. Toward the end, maybe in the 10th year, or the 11th or the 12th. Umar ibn al-Khattab in Medina, every time he heard that a tribe from Yemen is visiting Medina, there are so many tribes visiting Medina all the time, coming like a caravan going from Yemen all up north to Syria. So they pass by Medina. Or going the other way from north to south, they pass by Medina. Or caravan from Ghatafan, or caravan from different places. So they are passing by Medina and Mecca all the time. Umar ibn al-Khattab, he doesn't care that much, except about a tribe coming from Yemen. Every time he heard that there is a tribe coming from Yemen going north, or a tribe from Yemen going south, he goes to the market and he asks this question. All his Khilafah time, from day one till he found it. So he used to go to the market and say, do you have among you Uwais ibn Amir al-Qarni, Uwais the son of Amir from the tribe of Qarn? So the people of Yemen say, no, we don't have him. And some people doesn't even know him. Say, no, we don't even know who's that tribe. They don't know even the tribe of Qarn. Every time and every year. And the people sometimes, they are the same people who are coming up north and coming back. I say, why Umar ibn Khattab is asking about the same person? Who is that person? Who cares? We don't even know him. He's an unknown person. Why Umar is asking him? Why Amir al-Mu'mineen is so, is that man so important? What did he do? So every time he come and ask, and he get an answer that no, they don't have it. Till the end, when he was almost toward the end of his Khilafah, year 11 or 12, when he asked, he said, do you have Uwais, the son of Amir, from the tribe of Qarn? So the people said, yes, we are the tribe of Qarn, and we have Amir with us. He said, take me to him, please. So he went to Amir, and he asked Amir, are you Amir, the son of, are you Uwais, the son of Amir, from the tribe of Qarn? So the man said, yes. He said, are you from Murad? Because tribes are divided into branches, clans or something like that. So are you from the clan of Murad? He said, yes. He said, do you used to have a mom, your mother, that she was sick and you were very nice to her and you're treating her very well? So the Uwais said, yes, yeah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, yes, O Prince of the Believer. So Umar ibn Khattab said, ask him again. He said, do you used to have leprosy? Baras, you used to have leprosy. It's a kind of disease. But alhamdulillah, you are cured and healed and completely recovered, except it's part of a coin. So everybody was surprised. How specific Umar is asking. So the man said, yes. And the man himself, everybody was surprised. How he know all this kind of information? How are you very specific? So when he said yes, so Umar ibn Khattab came close to him. He said, please, I ask you by Allah, to ask Allah to forgive me. Always. Everybody was in shock. Umar ibn Khattab, the Prince of the Believers, the one who was giving glad tidings that he's going to Jannah, is asking this man who's unknown to his own people. And nobody knows him. He's asking him. And he was not among the Sahaba, by the way. He lived in Yemen. He was not among the Sahaba. The definition of Sahaba that he saw the Prophet ﷺ and he lived with him. So he was not among the Sahaba. He's a Tabi'een. Why Umar ibn Khattab is asking a non-Sahaba to ask Allah to forgive him? What is that? What's the explanation of that? And everybody was waiting for Umar to explain. So Umar turned to the people and he said, I hear the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, I hear the Prophet, that means during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which is like 14 years ago, or maybe even more. I hear the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, سيأتي عليكم المدد من أهل اليمن فيهم أويس بن عامر القرني من مراد كانت له هو بار بها وكان أبرص وشفي إلا موضع درهم ثم نظر إلى عمر وقال يا عمر إن استطعت أن تسأله أن يغفر الله لك فاسأله يا عمر. Umar ibn Khattab said, I heard the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saying, one day, he's talking about one day in the future, one day a tribe from Yemen will visit Medina, and among them the tribe of Qarn, and among them Uwais, the son of Amir, from the clan of Murad, who used to have a mother and he was treating her very well, and he used to have leprosy, but he is completely healed and recovered except this part of a coin. Then he looked at me, Umar was explaining, then he looked at me and he said, oh Umar, if you see him, ask him to ask Allah to forgive you. So that was a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. That's why Umar was, every time the people come from Yemen, ask him, because he knows this hadith is true. He's 100% true until it did happen. He was giving very specific information about one who was unknown to his own people. But he's a wali, he's known to Allah, he's a righteous friend to Allah. That's why Umar was asking him. And everybody was surprised. Actually, after this story, everybody knows him. So when Umar asked him to forgive, then Umar told him, where are you going? He said, we are going to Egypt. He said, if you want, I will write a letter to the governor of Egypt, which is Amr ibn As at that time, the governor of Egypt, so he can make things easy for you. So he said, أستحلفك بالله يا أمير المؤمنين لا تفعل. I ask you by Allah, O Prince of Believers, don't do that. So everybody was surprised. He's making your life easy and you don't want to do that? He's want to send you a letter to the governor of Egypt? The people will respect you or honor you? So Umar said, why? Ask him, why you want to do that? He said, please Umar, I want to be among the average people. He want to be among the laymen, the masses of the people. He doesn't want to be known. He doesn't want to be known. He want to keep low profile. He doesn't want to be known because this is how Allah loves him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يحب العبد التقي الخفي. Allah loves the one who fears him secretly. You don't have to show up. You don't have to tell everybody that you are fearing Allah or you're taqi. You just do it secretly. You might be a wali of Allah and you don't even know that you are wali of Allah. And one thing I want to conclude with, I heard it from one of the shuyukh a long time ago in Al-Azhar. I was graduated from Al-Azhar University, and one of our shuyukh was telling this in a khatira, a little khatira, and I remember this since that time. He said, make sure to have unique thing nobody else is doing between you and Allah, only Allah. Not your mom, not your dad, not your brothers and sisters, not your wife. Make sure you have something unique between you and Allah, because that could take you to Jannah. Anything, there's millions of things. Like you can fast one day without making sure, but sometimes if you fast, people will notice that you're not eating and drinking. So that's somebody will know. Maybe you pick someone to help without him knowing that you're helping him. Maybe you pick one of the homeless and provide food for him. But make sure when you are doing this, when you're doing that kind of act of ibadah, nobody knows, nobody can see you. That is why. That's basically what Uwais is doing. But anyway, since that time when Umar asked him, and everybody knows that Uwais mustajab al-da'wah, that Uwais, his dua, his supplication is so good. When he went back to Yemen, people start standing in line out of his door, waiting for him to make dua for them. So be very careful, brothers and sisters. I want to leave you. I want you to go home with two things. Number one, the first two things: never ever underestimate something that could take you to Jannah, and never ever overlook something that could take you to hell, والعياذ بالله. Number 3, treat people so nice, no matter what, even if they are non-Muslim, because every non-Muslim is a human being, first of all, and every non-Muslim is a potential Muslim, and every Muslim is a potential wali. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who listen to this speech and for the best of it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر لي ولكم فاستغفروه. هذا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا، وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.